You're at the airport, 4.5-hour wait at security. The TSA officer looks exhausted. You ask why. Because I haven't been paid in 6 weeks. That's why we're here. America's in the longest government shutdown ever, 52 days, still going. February 14th, 2026. Congress has 48 hours to fund the government. They don't agree on one thing: immigration enforcement. Time runs out. No bill passes. Midnight hits. Suddenly, Department of Homeland Security has $0. 300,000 federal workers wake up to unpaid paychecks. TSA, Coast Guard, FEMA. Everyone just stops getting paid. Quick civics lesson. Congress controls all government money. The Constitution says so. Every year, Congress has to vote, let's fund the government. But here's the problem. Both parties have to agree. If they don't, government has no money. Technically, it has to shut down. But shutdown doesn't mean everything closes. It means critical stuff keeps running. Military, law enforcement, Social Security. But optional stuff closes. National parks close. Many services stop. And here's the part that matters. Most federal workers aren't furloughed. They keep working, but without pay. That's the deal. Work for free. Eventually get paid back with interest. Hopefully. This time, nobody agreed. So 52 days later, hundreds of thousands of people are still working for $0. Let's look at the longest shutdowns. Congress and the president fought about spending cuts. Neither side would budge. Federal workers went unpaid for 3 weeks. That's brutal. How did they survive? Barely. They took out loans. Family helped. Some couldn't pay rent. The government limped along. National parks closed. Construction projects halted, but military and police kept going. After 3 weeks, Clinton and Congress made a deal. Workers got paid retroactively, plus interest because Congress felt bad. Shutdown over. Trump wanted wall funding. Democrats said no. Stalemate. Again, federal workers went unpaid. 35 days this time. How did they manage? They didn't. Really. People took second jobs. People got evicted. People got sick from stress. The economy lost $3 billion. $3 billion. Eventually, Trump gave in. Partial compromise. Bill passed. Workers got paid back. Shutdown over. Same guy, different issue. Healthcare subsidies this time. Again, federal workers unpaid. 42 days. Same story. Loans. Hardship. Economic damage. Then compromise. Bill passes. Workers get paid. Shutdown over. We've beaten every record. Federal workers unpaid for almost 2 months. This time it's about immigration enforcement. Democrats want reforms. Republicans won't negotiate. And here's the difference. None of the previous shutdowns were this long while the sitting president was still in power and still refusing to compromise. Usually one side breaks first. Someone says, okay, we lost. Let's move on. Not this time. Here's what's different. In 1995, both sides knew the longer this goes, the worse it looks politically. So they compromised after 3 weeks. In 2018, Trump realized people are actually suffering. I look bad. I'll compromise. Shutdown ended. In 2025, same thing. Somebody blinked. Deal made. But in 2026, nobody's blinking. Democrats are demanding actual reforms to ICE operations. Not just money, not just negotiation. They want structural change. Republicans say that's not a budget issue. That's a separate fight. We fund all of DHS or nothing. It's not about the money anymore. It's about principle. And here's the problem. Congress went on recess until April 13th. So literally nothing is happening right now. The people aren't working on a deal. They're on vacation. Meanwhile, federal workers are at day 52 of no paychecks. That's the difference. Previous shutdowns, both sides kept negotiating hard. This one, Congress literally left town. The facts: 480 TSA officers already quit. Airports are slowing down. Coast Guard operating at reduced capacity. Iran, China, Russia watching. FEMA can't issue disaster relief. If a hurricane hits this week, they can't help. Federal workers are broke. They're taking out loans, missing rent, getting evicted. Economy's losing billions per week. That's it. That's what's happening. Congress comes back April 13th. They have 48 hours before the next crisis hits. Here's what probably happens. The shutdown extends at least another 2 weeks. Why? Because compromise is hard, especially when both sides dug in this deep. What are the consequences? More TSA officers quit. Airports get worse. Federal workers hit day 70. Can't pay bills anymore. Start quitting their jobs. When the shutdown finally ends and government rehires, there won't be trained people left. It gets messy. If it goes another month, you're looking at actual national security consequences. Coast Guard can't patrol borders properly. Cybersecurity weakens. Disaster response slows. The economy could lose $10 billion total. And that's money that could have built schools, fixed roads, helped poor people. Okay, how does this actually end? Scenario 1. Democrats compromise. April 15th. Democrats say, okay, we'll fund all of DHS. Just pass reform separately through another bill. Republicans accept. Deal done. Shutdown over by late April. Federal workers get paid retroactively. Probability 20%. Why? Because Democrats have been pretty firm on this. Scenario 2. Republicans compromise. April 16th. Republicans say, fine, we'll delay ICE funding for 60 days while we negotiate reforms. Democrats accept. Deal done. Shutdown over by late April. Probability 20%. Same reason in reverse. Scenario 3. They punt. Congress passes a temporary funding bill, buys another 60 days. Essentially says, we can't agree, so let's delay until summer. Most likely because neither side will fully give in. Shutdown technically ends, but the underlying crisis stays unresolved. Probability 50%. Scenario 4. Shutdown drags to May. Both sides stay stubborn. Congress can't even pass a temporary bill. Shutdown keeps going into May. Damage gets worse. Eventually someone cracks. Probability 10%. We're at day 52. Longest shutdown ever. Federal workers are suffering right now. Congress is on vacation. One of those 4 scenarios will play out. But the real issue, none of them actually solve the problem. Democrats and Republicans still won't agree. This will happen again. That's the system breakdown.
Subscribe to understand how government works, especially when it doesn't.